where do you want to go? There's so many places we can go from here. I think dream intrusion is a great place to go. Is it possible, and I know you're going to say yes, that somebody can actually enter your dream? This is frightening. Really, it is frightening. Enter your dream and influence you, or even worse, somebody with evil intentions can harm you in the dream state. That's going to take a lot of explaining.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Dream intrusion. And it's real, it's easy to identify, actually, Art, when someone has a dream or a nightmare. Let's just call it a dream. Anyhow, when an individual has a dream and it's so out of character, that is how you know and identify dream intrusion. The dream you have is so out of character for you, your state of consciousness, your typical dreams. That's how you know. Maybe, you're in the dream and all of a sudden, you're having sex with your boss in the dream state, and it's something, that would never enter your mind. It has never entered your mind, and it's something so out of character. That's how you know dream intrusion has occurred.
Jeremy, I promise you I've never thought of it. I'm sorry. So if it's something so out of character for you, then it's indeed possible that it was an exterior influence that caused you to have that dream, or put it another way, do that thing in another dimension.
Yes.
That's fair?
Yes, that's fair to say. And because what occurs in dreams, just as to level the playing field here, what occurs in dreams occurs. It's a reality. The same as what we're talking right here is, you could say, is one reality.
Reality. Mm-hmm.
A certain type of consciousness. Dreams are another type of consciousness, but we're really there doing it. And the fact that maybe we're engaging in a behavior that's unusual for us is probably an influence from someone else who is either obsessing with us, focusing on us, has resentment, anger, whatever, toward us, and they're holding that attitude and dwelling on it. That attitude or electromagnetic field comes into our dreams, and at that point, it takes shape, and consequently, we experience it as something rather bizarre that we would rather not do. And that's how we identify usually dream intrusions. We're getting drugged into some activity or behavior that normally we would not engage in, and that other person is triggering it. They're actually in our dream.
But once again, I have to point out that we are fully responsible for allowing such an event to occur. And we must keep our auric field sealed tightly and practice divine love.
Oh, wait. How does one seal one's auric field?
Oh, by the hue. Just hue, and it handles it.
Boy, this hue really covers a lot of territory.
I promise, our one magic word for real. Yeah, it does the trick.
As a vibration, our auric field is an electromagnetic field, as you know. And we get, unfortunately, we get a weakened auric field, or we get holes punched in our auric field, having to do with the influences of our daily life. What would punch a hole in an auric field? Being too close to EMFs, electromagnetic fields. Sitting at a computer 8 hours a day, you can bet you have a weakened auric field.
If that's true, then my auric field looks like a screen door. I'm a ham radio operator. I run high power equipment. I've got now I've got 3 computers in front of me, 2 computers in front, 1 to the side. I've got a little radio I talk to my friends on right there. In other words, I've got electromagnetic fields galore.
See, that's a sign or a synchronicity right there. We're talking to you right now, so you can plug the holes in that auric field of yours with the hue technique.
Yeah, that's a prescription for you, Art. You know, 3 hues and call us in the morning.
3 hues and call us in the morning. That's great. So you really believe that electromagnetic fields influence and or drive holes into your aura?
Absolutely, and cause great disease. You know, the word disease actually stems from dis-ease, and once again, we're responsible, you know, for the things that occur in our world and our state of consciousness. And, even narcotics, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, all those things influence, weaken the auric field. And
well, listen, I've switched to the new e-cigarette. Is that a problem too?
That's a thought.
Well, it is a vapor. And
that's
smoke.
all it is, though. It's just a vapor.
I'd say it's the step-down version, Art. You know, we aim for progress, not perfection.
There you go. All right. I'll accept that.
Mm-hmm.
I knew smoking was bad on so many levels, but not this one. So actually, drugs, alcohol, smoking, all these things that affect you in a physical way also affect you in a
spiritual way.
Spiritual way, yes. That's fair, sure.
It really hits your astral body, and your astral body is a little bit finer, more subtle body than the physical body, and it hits the astral body and causes it to be susceptible to, like Nicole said, then you're open to disease, you're open to people coming into your dreams, psychic attacks, that sort of thing that normally you would be protected against in your state of consciousness, because it's a violation of a spiritual law to enter someone else's state of consciousness without their approval. If someone invites you in, it's something else. But if you enter as a practitioner of some sort to influence people for your own benefit without their knowledge or approval, then you violated a spiritual law. Then you're a practitioner of black magic or witchcraft.
I really like what Nicole said. Dis-ease, disease, dis-ease. In other words, if you're not at ease, you are at risk of disease.
Absolutely, Art. And it comes in so many ways. I mean, I'm also a nutrition counselor and a fitness trainer, so we work in the wellness field, as you know, and have for many years with clients and whatnot, and we've seen it over and over. And everything's really connected, as Michael keeps mentioning, quantum entanglement, and it's so true. You've got your physical body, you've got your astral body, and actually your causal and your mental and your soul. I mean, we really operate with 5 bodies simultaneously, you know, and all these bodies or states of consciousness, you know, become affected, and it's all it depends on how we live our life every day. You know, the things we put in our body nutritionally, the type of exercise we get, if we meditate or practice, you know, some sort of spiritual path, the types of thoughts that we hold, and the things that we hold in our heart. And intention has everything to do with it, on top of it.
Oh, I'm really big on intention. Believe me, I'm big on intention. And we need to talk about that. But the second part of this thing that we were talking about is, can someone with evil intentions harm you in the dream state? And I want to ask about that. Is it a witch? Is it somebody in the black arts who would do you this harm? In other words, do they have to be in that state to get to you? Somebody who is a witch or able to dabble in the black arts, is that what it's going to take? Or can somebody who is a simple soul traveler but happens to at the moment hate your guts able to do you harm in a dream state?
Bingo. Anybody, Joe Blow. They could just have an obsession with you, a fantasy about you. They could also loathe you, be in love with you. It doesn't matter. Just a strong thought and attitude about an individual can cause these things.
Correct.
Yeah. So that's what Michael was saying. They don't even realize it half the time. People don't even know they're practicing black magic, Art, and they just are, and incurring all kinds of karma.
Oh, my. That's very disturbing, particularly, I would add, for a public figure, because, you know, there are potentially millions of people who know me or know of me or maybe even obsess about me. Not millions obsessing, but some, you know,
Right
by
on, yeah.
percentage. So is a public figure, just out of curiosity, more... should a public figure be more concerned about this sort of thing than the average person? Because there's going to be more people thinking about you, perhaps ill will, I don't know.
Absolutely. It's pure math. You know, more people are aware of you, more people have an opinion about you. So it's pure math, and absolutely that is the case.
That's why public figures, if you'll just, you kind of notice in general, as a generalization, public figures have more, they pull more heat, is one way of saying it. That's because so many people are aware of them, are focusing on them with all kinds of negative thoughts, and they do impact, like Nicole said, our different bodies. So, you know, the old saying, keep a low profile, keep it on the down low. There's a reason for that, because you don't want to pull that. You got the secret. Cue it up, Art.
Get your cue on.
So this could be done, you're suggesting, unintentionally. I mean, if somebody is just obsessing on you, and so they could, without even knowing it, cause you horrible stress in the night.
Yes.
And they
that
show
is
up.
Really troubling. Yeah. It's just really troubling. I'm sorry.
You know, but hey, I think it's better to know than not know. Wouldn't you agree?
Can I think about it?
Because now that you know, you can take...
Now that I know, how can I ever get it out of my head?
That's right.
You know.
Ignorance is bliss at some point.
Boy. Okay. So all of that can happen, and it can happen unintentionally, and that brings us to an astral entity. Now, and to me, an astral entity sounds different than somebody unintentionally doing something to you, somebody's soul traveling, or any of the rest of that. An astral entity, or the name, to me, would imply an entity that is not, or was not, or never has been a human being, and lives in another dimension and is not at all human. Would that be right or wrong?
Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, it would be. It's yes and no. It would be right in the sense that in this case, talking about it would be an entity that does not have a physical body here, and we call that an astral entity. Although we all have astral bodies, when we're physically incarnated, we also have an astral body, and we need one. We all need one, or we couldn't be here. But at the same time, an astral entity is usually someone who was here before and died, or as we say, translated, because you just translate the energy, and they're living in the astral plane, and they're wanting to get back. And I think Nicole's got a good story for you.
Oh, do I ever? Oh, my. And this is like present-oriented story I'm going to share with you and your listeners right now.